This is the NFL on EA Sports, and we are in the Pacific Northwest at CenturyLink Field in Seattle, Washington. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And now movement here right away. Maybe a sign of things to come with this crowd. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. A shotgun snap for Newton. And he will find the open man. It's DJ Moore. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. A good pickup after the penalty, 12 yards, and it's second down. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. To throw on second down is Newton. This will complete to Curtis Samuel. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
First carry for Christian McCaffrey. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now whistles. Flag down, and I believe one of the Panthers got moving early. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Out of the gun, Newton. Flush to his right. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowl safety Cam Chancellor. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. After the interception, here's Wilson. And it's hauled in by Nick Vanette. And he's got this down to the 35. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opened things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
To throw is Wilson. Underneath to Davis. No gain, and it's second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule. I'm down in distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice. Let's go get another one. Let's go get another one. Come on. 14. Hey. Check it out. We got to stand up. Zebra. Let's go, 14. Be alert. Gotta go.
From the shotgun, Wilson. Looking for Baldwin, intercepted. Picked up by Ross Cockrell. And this one will be brought back to the 22.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 22. Now following the interception, here's Newton. He's got a man on the crossing route. That's Moore. He's at the 30, 20. Touchdown, Carolina. DJ Moore, 78 yards. And the Panthers are going to take a first-quarter lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Gano out to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And out now come the Seahawks. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. They'll start out on the ground with Carson, and he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
19. 12. Gotta go.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The all-pro linebacker Luke Kuechly right there on the coverage, stride for stride.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
On 3rd down, it's Carson. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves him looking at a 4th down.
4th and short, partner. I mean, this would be a really risky call. Here we are in the first quarter.
On your own side of the field.
On side of the field. But, boy, what a tone setter that would be to go for it and get it, wouldn't it?
You're gritty today. I like it.
I'm feeling it.
They'll indeed go for it with Wilson. He's going to air this out for Baldwin. He's got him in. Complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Fourth down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward.
19.
Now Wilson on first down. Dumps that off to Penny as running back. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll be a second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Fair. Check. Crunch. Gotta go. Take.
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 6 to start things out.
Check. 19.
They run it with Carson. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Zebra. Gotta go.
They snap it at 1. Now Wilson. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing. Interestingly,
that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
And because they couldn't hit the long field goal, they are set up nicely offensively at the 41, 1st and 10.
20. Hey, get right down. 20. Great. Gun. 20. Right to the 3.
Newton now to throw. This one complete to Devin Funchess. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it seems almost effortless.
Do something.
Now a first down throw for Newton. Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 13 yards down to the 13. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Right to the 3.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
On second down, here's Newton. Buying time to his left. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Hey, hey. Gun. 20.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And that'll be caught. Touchdown, Panthers. Olsen. Greg Olsen, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Panthers add on to their lead. Gano the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Gano out to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. It's caught. Baldwin. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. A minute 57 to go in this first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. Wilson now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10.
50, 18. 18. Gotta go.
Wilson will throw again. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
14.
2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. A dump off for Davis. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 6 yards on the pickup, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
On 3rd down, it's Carson, and he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. An inaugural trip to the red zone here for the Seahawks. It's 1st and 10 at the 14.
Gotta go.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Seahawks able to make this a close game again. Janikowski adds the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. Out to kick is Janikowski. That's fielded in the end zone. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Newton on first down. That's Samuel, caught left side. They give him a gain of 38.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got the artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Here's Newton. Throw left side complete. That's Moore. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
Do some. Right to the 3. Right. Express. Hey.
On first down, it's Newton. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. On 1st and 10, Newton. The quick slant caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. 2nd and goal from the 1. Throwing is Newton. And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. Cam Newton with his 3rd touchdown pass of this first half. And the Panthers are able to grow their lead.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Extra point try good by Gano. And it's now 21-7. Gano out to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Here's Wilson to throw. It's complete to Lockett. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. Second and 6, just inside the 30. Final play of the half. It's Wilson. Flushed out right. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we come upon halftime. Intermission here with the visiting Panthers taking the lead to the line. You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this you're going to do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them.
Check 50, check 50. Cut, 280. Tempo, tempo. 18. Hey.
Now Wilson on second down. He's going to air this out for Baldwin. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. On third down, Wilson underneath to Davis. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that's going to bring up a fourth down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Fourth down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And he's got a man on the crossing route. That's Moore. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Doug Baldwin, 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Seahawks have made this a one-score game. Janikowski now for the point after. Janikowski good with the extra point. And they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. Out to kick is Janikowski. Fielded about a yard deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive. Past the 30-yard line. The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Now whistles. Flag down, and I believe one of the Panthers got moving early. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Hey. Sit. Ready? Great. Gun. Hey. Do something.
Out of the gun, Newton. He'll drop it off to McCaffrey. Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll bring up a second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Express. Do something. Gun. Great.
Here's Newton now on second down. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there of 22.
Come on now.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 46.
Great. Gun. Great.
A shotgun snap for Newton. They'll roll him out right. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll make this a second down.
Gun. 8. Great. Do something. Hey.
Newton throwing again. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here.
Let's rock now. Hey.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. To say they've kept him under wraps running the football, that's an understatement. He's been completely neutralized.
Yeah, they've essentially taken him out of the game, haven't they? And you know all the teams say, we're not going to let him beat us. Well, that's exactly what's happened here. They've lived up to that.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. On second down, here's Newton. He's going to go deep for Funchess. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, 3rd down.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively.
Do something. Hey, hey.
Throwing on third down, Newton forced out to his left. He may try and run for this. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
And Godot's kick is right through. And that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minutes. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
To throw is Wilson. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. Mario Addison in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
0-0. 12.
On second down, Wilson. He hits Baldwin right side. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. That catch good for 5. It's third down. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
Wilson now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
Gun.
Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Gun. 14.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. He rifles complete, caught by Moore. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Line of scrimmage moves from one 37-yard line to the other as they come up 1st and 10. Now it's Carson, and he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Stop made there by Julius Peppers.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Be ready for one word.
On second down, here's Wilson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Adams. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games. And now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Hey. Express! Do something! Express! Great. Get hot!
Now following the interception, here's Newton. And this one complete right side to Funchess. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. And give him a gain of 37. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, Clock on their side. Instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up first downs and keeping the football.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Newton now to throw. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. First target, first catch, and a first down. Newton now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's first and 10. Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Michael Kendricks, the linebacker, there to get him down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Hey, hey. Gun, gun. Gun, gun, gun. 20. Great. Look at it.
To throw on second down is Newton. And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
Good jumbo. Good jumbo. Jumbo, jumbo. Mike 5'9", Mike 5'9". Zebra. Hey, hey. 14.
Now Wilson on first down. Finding some room in midfield. Wide open receiver complete. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
95. Zebra.
On first down, Wilson. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Julius Peppers in there to take him down and to take us to the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Now it's Wilson. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
In this situation, the dictation is coming from the defense, right? They're going to tell you, you can have 6, 7 yards, do that all the way downfield. Let's just go ahead and take the time off the clock. I think they've got to start attacking vertically a lot more.
He's got the tight end, Vanette. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
19. Gotta go.
Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. He's got Lockett. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. And Janikowski bangs it through, and that gets him back within 10. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Newton's going to throw it. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Newton escaping the pressure right. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
Different pass rushes are designed for different things. Sometimes you want to keep the quarterback in the pocket. Sometimes you want him to flush. I don't know exactly how this one was designed, but they made sure they moved him to his right. He got out of the pocket. Unfortunately for him, he was hit as he tried to throw the ball, and that resulted in an incompletion.
Now it's Newton. Taking a shot for Samuel. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again, but they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly, then they'll take it from there.
Steps away to his left. And that'll be incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there. And now it's 2nd down.
They tried to make something happen, but that one came up incomplete and really wasn't a good-looking throw.
Yeah, maybe even go as far as to call that a little ill-advised.
Yeah, I would say so. I think that's the right phrase for it. Definitely ill-advised. Just wonder about his mechanics right now, you know, and that's the tough part. You do so much stuff in practice to make it repetitive, but it has to repeat under pressure, whether it's pressure from the defense or just the pressure of playing the game.
Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. The Seahawks on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Throwing now is Wilson. To the right side, and he's got more complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A pickup of 11, and it moves the chains. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Gotta go. 19. Switch.
So that'll back them up 5. Now the Seahawks forced to use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. Now Wilson. Underneath to Davis. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 7 yards on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 8. One last shot for Wilson. Now a desperation throw deep depth, and this is intercepted, and that should do it. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it. And that will write a finish to this ball game. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.